Hello, it's time for New Mouse Makes, and today I'm making a special Christmas craft. I'm making an advent calendar. This took me about 24 hours to make, and the thing I love about it is I've designed it so that after you have collected your treat from the appropriate drawer each day, you turn the drawer around and reveal part of an image. Then when you get to the 25th, you have a full Christmas image unveiled. I've also added more neutral colours to the other two sides of the drawers, so you can turn them around and use the cabinet for storage the rest of the year. I'm going to start by showing you how I made the cabinet. It's made of balsa wood, but you could make it out of strong cardboard. I built my cabinet around a backboard of 13 by 13 inches, so two of my side panels are 13 inches long and the other two are slightly longer, so they will meet at the corners. I'm going to make available my guide to the panel sizes on my website, link in the description below, but please note that these are just a guide and not a template. You can make the cabinet any size you want really, but if it's too small it will be very fiddly to make. I sanded the edges of the wood pieces once they were cut with a nail file. I then cut out the 8 balsa wood pieces that will slot together to make the 25 shelves. They look a bit like this. Again, I will link to this below in case you want to see it up close and use it as a guide. I recommend checking your measurements quite a few times before you cut out these pieces, because it's not very easy to fix it afterwards if things go wrong. Then I assembled the cabinet. I started with the 8 shelving pieces, slotting them together and gluing them in place. I then stuck on the side panels. This needed quite a bit of patience because it was quite easy to knock the piece I had just stuck down with the piece I was now trying to stick down. Finally, I glued the back panel on, which again required a little bit of patience and manipulation. I also used strong masking tape on the edges of the cabinet to make it look neater and cover up any little gaps. Then the fun part is painting. I painted the inside of the cabinet black with acrylic paint. Then I painted the outside of the cabinet white. I chose white because it's going to be sitting on a white table, but you could use a more Christmassy colour or even keep the cabinet brown. Then all I had to do was make 25 drawers out of strong card. Here is what they look like before they are folded and stuck together. I'll again link to this below in case you'd like to use it as a guide. The important thing is that the base be square so that the drawers will fit in the cabinet in all 4 ways. Once I'd made a couple of drawers and was sure that the dimensions were right and that they fit in the cabinet, I used the third after I'd cut it out but before I'd folded and stuck it together as a template for all of the others. After a few hours I had 25 of these. I painted the inside of these drawers black. At this stage I wrote on the bottom of each drawer what I was going to be painting on each side so that I didn't get confused. I used the letters A to Y to denote where each drawer would be in the cabinet, which was important for making sure that the Christmas image was cut out and stuck down in the right order. Opposite that is which day of the month each drawer will be and the design and the colour that will be on it, and then the other 2 sides are grey and purple. Then I painted the grey and purple sides first because it was easiest. I chose these colours because they fit with the colours in this room, but any colours would do. Then I worked on the number side. I painted 6 drawers green, 6 gold, 7 silver, and 6 red, and then added the numbers and designs. This is the arrangement I used. I made an Excel spreadsheet. You can see the colours of the drawers, the letters A to Y, the numbers 1 to 25, and the lowercase letters refer to the designs I made on each one. I used diagonal stripes, sequins, little stick-on snowflakes, stars, and trees. And here is a close-up of what they looked like. Finally, I stuck my Christmas image on the back of the drawers. Here is the design I used. I'll link to it below in case you would like to use it, but you'll need to resize it to your cabinet. Or you could make your own. It was really fun. Just don't forget to account for the gaps where the drawers don't meet. This bit was a little stressful because I didn't want to stick the pieces on in the wrong order and have the image be all jumbled up. I wrote the letters A to Y on the back of the paper before I started cutting to try and alleviate that issue. Then I filled the cabinet with treats. I used various chocolates, including a dairy milk bar broke into pieces and wrapped in tin foil, chocolate coins and chocolate balls and teddy bears. And there you have it, a reusable advent calendar, which you can also make use of the rest of the year. I really hope you like it, and I'd love to see your version if by any chance you make one. It was a really fun project. It was a little time consuming. As I say, it took about 24 hours, and that was sort of over the course of a 1.5 week period, but it was also really fun, and I think that it was worth it in the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful December, and I will see you very soon.